Hello, everybody. My name is Bradley Cooper, and I'm one of the officers of the Bucks County Libertarian Party. And all across this country, violent crime continues to get worse and worse, and nobody wants to do anything about it. Until recently, until Joe Biden used executive orders to enact different gun laws in this country. And then shortly after, different Democratic governors enacted their own gun laws like Joe Biden did. Now, these new gun laws or whatever don't combat violence, don't do anything to stop violence. All they do is go after your Second Amendment rights. Because if the Democrats were really obsessed with fixing all the violent crimes we have in this country, they would have already been doing it or showing the American people that they're going to go against these violent crimes or criminals. Just look at the past 3 years. In Pennsylvania, Governor Tom Wolf at the time was doing a press conference about the violent crimes and the raiding and the looting and the destruction that is happening shortly after the George Floyd incident, where people were making a big issue about how that situation was handled and about the cops need to be defunded and all that. He was doing a press conference and his face was on one side of the screen and on the other side was live footage of people in Philadelphia destroying and looting the city. He went on there and said, these are peaceful protesters promoting, showing that I agree with what they're doing. I'm happy with what they're doing. And I'm not going to denounce anything that they're doing as being anything but perfectly fine. And showing the American people that Philadelphia criminals and people that are doing all these violent things are in their legal right to do that. Then in Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, right after, again, the George Floyd incident, was out there promoting how cops need to be defunded because they're bigots and racist, they hate the black people, and just going after cops left and right or whatever. Then, shortly after, crime started to get worse and worse and worse, so then she went and begged the federal government to give her military aid to try to help combat the crime that is going higher and higher in her city. Or whatever. They don't care about fixing the crime issue in this country. They actually promote it. They actually want this to go on, and they want to continue perpetuating the criminals and making the criminals look like great people, and then make law-abiding citizens like you and I look like the bad people, that we are the problem with this country and why these violent crimes are happening. Because of us, because of people that are gun owners are the problem. Because there was a 4th of July free concert firework event that happens every year down in Philadelphia. Gunfires went off during that event and hit 2 police officers and wounded them. Jim Kenney was interviewed shortly after, and he said, well, there's nothing I can do about it because Americans love their guns and won't give up their guns. So you're basically on your own because there's nothing I can do about this, and that I shouldn't have chose to be the mayor of Philadelphia. Basically saying that he's not going to do anything to make Philadelphia any safer. He's not even going to attempt it. He's not going to do anything to try to make law enforcement protected so they don't get killed, they don't look bad, they don't get called racists or bigots or anything when they try to protect the citizens of Philadelphia. So they are all right with what's going on in this country. But it's you and me, the gun owners or gun advocates, who are the people that they want to go after. And if you go after their agenda and you go and try to go against it, what they're trying to push, they belittle, they berate you, they name call you, they, make sure that you look like a terrible, heinous person, and that you look like you don't care about people being shot, you don't care about crime or kids getting killed in schools or whatever, that you are the problem with the violence that is happening in this country. Let's look at another issue with the abortion. How they were pushing pro-choice, pro-choice, pro-choice. And this gentleman, Mark Houck from Bucks County, my county that I live in, was a pro-lifer who was praying on the other side of the street on the sidewalk across from an abortion clinic. They ended up getting the feds and putting it in his face, scaring his children. He went to jail because he is going against pro-life agenda that the Democrats have been pushing for eons because of what happened with the Roe versus Wade decision. So if you go against their agenda of what they are pushing, you could be the next Mike Houck getting thrown in jail. That's why this is bigger than the Second Amendment. Our First Amendment, Second Amendment are getting taken away from the American people, and then you could be considered a criminal for doing absolutely nothing, but because you go against what the Democrats want to promote and push in the direction they want to take this country, you are considered a criminal now for doing absolutely nothing wrong. That is why the Second Amendment right and our First Amendment right that continuously get taken away from us and are getting more and more eradicated from the Constitution because of this administration is a big deal, and why American citizens need to get angry and need to step up and need to do something about this. Because once our rights and liberties are taken away, if you don't follow suit with what the federal government wants you to do and toe their line, you could be the next person thrown in jail for doing absolutely nothing wrong.